Welcome everybody, happy Tuesday, and thank you for watching Joel the Nose. I'm Joel, as usual, coming to you from Miami, and today I've got a very special treat. At least it's very special for me, and I hope you find it too. If you've been watching my channel at all in the last week, you've seen I've reviewed some Parfums de Marly, some samples I've received from my local perfume shop, Osme Perfumery here in Miami, and I actually went ahead and ordered my first bottle the other day, and I documented that on one of my other videos opening my new box of, as many of you, or maybe you haven't seen, the beautiful Habdan from Parfums de Marly. So today I'm going to do a full review of this beauty. It's part of their Royal Essence line. You can see this beautiful box that comes in. I'm not going to go through all the details. I like presentation. Some of you obsess about it. For me, it's nice, but in the end, I like what's in the bottle more. You know, it's whatever. So as you can see, it comes in a nice stand here. Actually, there's felt surrounding the bottle. Bottle sits in very tightly, very nicely. Listen. Okay. Comes out and boom. This bottle is, man, it's like a grenade. This thing has got heft. More than most of the bottles that I own in my collection that I've tested. It's not just the bottle. Many of you have seen and heard about this wonderful cap. This cap is, I mean, it's gold. It's got the logo writing on top. It's like, I seriously could chuck this thing like a baseball or a football, I mean, or a weapon if you needed to. You can see the bottle. It's got the beautiful gold Habdan writing. It's got the engraved or embossed Parfums de Marly logo. It's got their horse's logo. I mean, just a beautiful bottle all the way around. When I smell this, it literally lifts me away to another world. So you guys can kind of see where I'm going with this review today, but it's amazing. So let me get the basics out of the way first. Parfums de Marly is the house, for those of you who don't know. This is a French house. It's a niche designer, which is most of my reviews are from. So this is not a department store brand or even a designer like Calvin Klein or Tom Ford or Chanel. This is a niche designer. They started their house in 2009, again French, and they have over 30 fragrances actually in their lineup right now, all the way up until this year of 2019. So they are active and they are producing a lot of great stuff. If you haven't checked them out, I highly recommend it because I've smelled a bunch of their fragrances and they all just blow me away. So the nose behind Habdan is Guillame Flavigny, and I hope I'm not totally butchering that name, but I will put all this information, by the way, all the biographical information regarding this scent in my comments below so that you can easily access it, because when I'm watching videos, people put stuff up and I'm like, it's gone, it's here, I forget what you said. I'll put it down there so you can see it. But so that way, if you like this perfumer or this nose, Guillame, you can go check out other things he's done, and maybe you'll like some other fragrances he's done. Okay, now to the actual scent. Habdan, released 2013. Okay, so it's been out for 6 years now. This has been around. A number of people have reviewed it. I've seen reviews online. I don't think I've seen a bad review. I think most people generally like this. This is a unisex. I could definitely see why it's classified as a unisex because of kind of the sweet apple smell that it gives. But for me, especially as it dries down, this is definitely more of a men's fragrance. Although I think it would drive me crazy if I smelled this on a woman. I think it would be incredible. But it is unisex. It can be worn, I think, very easily by both men and women. It's classified as a spicy oriental. For those who care about those classifications, for me, I don't really give a crap, to be honest with you. Some may say it could even touch into the gourmand because of the sweetness. Again, fougere, gourmand. For the highfalutin crowd, that's great. For me, I just want to know what the thing smells like. So, I will, last part in the biographical section, the top notes officially listed are saffron and frankincense, which is technically Olbanum, which is a frankincense, essentially resin. And the saffron is a hay-like basically, you know, flower or substance. And this is it's natural, and it actually emits kind of, saffron emits a honey smell, which you'll see you'll get in this. The mid notes are apple, woods, and rose. Again, you'll see as I get through the review, that's I think going to be probably the heart of this fragrance. And then as it dries down to the base, you're going to get more of the ambergris, excuse me, caramel, and myrrh. So you've got frankincense and myrrh. To me, it's kind of cool. You've got makes it very old-timey, almost biblical. For those of you who have read the Bible or grew up with that, you've heard those terms probably a lot: frankincense and myrrh. So, time for the review. So let me just spray a little bit on first to start. Got the bottle. I'm going to spray right here on my back of my hand, which I like to do for the best smell. Okay, you can see great spray. And let it sit for a second so I don't get crushed with the alcohol smell, which I do sometimes. You smell something right away, just a tip, guys, you're going to get alcohol, and you're like, oh, this is horrible. So, all right. Wow. All I can say is this takes you away. If you're looking for a fragrance that lifts you and takes you out of the doldrums of your daily crap life, or your daily great life, but you need to get away because stress or whatever, this immediately does it. I mean, boom, takes me away. Like, I feel like I'm in some far exotic country. I live in South Florida. I live in Miami. I live in this great tropical region. I'm by the water. I go see the sunsets, the sunrises every day. But this takes me away to I don't know, just an exotic foreign land, maybe somewhere in the Middle East or Africa. It's hard to even say, but it's amazing. So A+ for that right away. This initial smell for me, and this is what I've gotten, it's apple right off the bat. And you'll see a lot of other reviews. I'm not saying something out of the blue here. You get this very much an apple smell at the start. I love apples. I love that this is unique because I don't normally smell this in other fragrances, so I think that this is an apple smells awesome. And as it starts to dry down a little bit, what I've noticed after that initial smell, it starts to go into a little bit of a spicy apple. Some people have talked about this being a caramel crunch or an apple crunch pie. And I could see that, depending on the day and the temperature and different things, you get a little bit different thing. But I get it. It moves into a little spicy apple and then a vanilla, which I love. Vanilla is something I didn't really know I love. For you people, just for everyone out there, there's actually science behind that, because a lot of the smells that we prefer are things that we first experienced when we were very young. And when you are in the womb from your mother, whether a lot of the amniotic fluid and then formula or baby's milk or mother's milk has a lot of vanilla, so that's why most people really like vanilla in the scent. So for me, I was formula fed, which makes me like vanilla even more. Thanks, Mom. So boom, I get that, and then it becomes very warm. After about 45 minutes, this fragrance on my skin it starts to envelop me in a warmth. I'm used to kind of that clean, fresh, crisp scent that most of the scents have, most fragrances have here, especially in the United States. This thing is very different for me because of that. I get this warm, spicy vanilla apple that just kind of envelops you like a big hug. And for me, I think that's just amazing. And as it kind of, after I guess about maybe the 2 or 3 hour mark, when the base notes really start to come into play, the caramel and the myrrh really start to come. So the apple subsides, although the apple stays throughout the entire day for me. It subsides after a couple hours, and the caramel and the, I guess the myrrh, which is again is resinous, just like the frankincense, and that resinous I think is what adds to this warmth, and not this kind of like bright, crisp, like boom. This is like a warmth, and I think that's from the resinous myrrh and frankincense. And it also kind of in that 2 or 3 hour mark, that's where it really becomes for me masculine. So as it starts to dry down throughout the day, that's where that, again, these frankincense and myrrh and those base notes, the ambergris, I think the caramel, you'll start to really feel that warmth as it kicks in. For me, at about the 6-hour mark is when it starts to kind of wear off. I get good projection for the first really 3 or 4 hours. I mean, within a good probably 10 to 12 inches around me. Just to let you know where I spray under, actually, I've switched this recently. I spray the insides of my elbows. I spray once in the back of my hand because that's a little trick. That way I can smell throughout the day really great, and I love that. And also as you're waving and talking, you're emitting your scent. So that's a little trick, guys. And then I go once on each side of the neck or the clavicle, depending on whether I just shaved or not. And then once in the back of the neck to give you a trailing scent. So for a good 3 or 4 hours, I get all the way around me, a good wafting. People are going to smell it. After about 6 hours, it's going to pull down to your skin, which is fine because I still will smell it throughout the day, and it's just such an incredible smell. This is something I just want to smell over and over, and I can't help smelling my hand. I got to say, I smell my hand on this more than any other fragrance that I've put on in a long time. And then after the 12-hour mark, I still have this thing on me. I still can smell it on my hand, and when I go down and smell either my neck or my clavicle area, I can still smell it. So this thing is a beast for me. Again, every fragrance is going to be different for every person. You got to see what works best for you, but this is a beast for me. It is unique. It is masculine. It is sweet, but not too sweet. It is confident. And this is going to set you apart from the crowd. I cannot recommend this enough. I highly recommend it. I say go out and get a sample. I never recommend blind buying because, again, because of our body chemistry and our unique odor scent, which everybody has their own odor scent, like their own fingerprint, you need to test it on yourself first. But I think that you will very much love this. I think Parfums de Marly hit an absolute home run with this. And for me, this should be in everybody's collection and should be in your rotation every day of the week. In fact, last night I was out taking pictures on the beach here in Miami at the sunset, and I was taking some pictures of this bottle, and I had a couple people walk by me and who smelled this and were blown away and like asked me what I was wearing. That's the type of compliments you're going to get with this. So that is my review, guys. I hope you found it useful, not too much down in the weeds regarding different things. I hope you found it, again, very common and useful for you. If you did, great. Please leave some comments if you didn't, or if you disagree with my opinion, please leave comments. Everyone's got their own opinion on this, just like wine or food. Fragrances are very unique to each of us, so I want to hear what you think. If you think if you like what I did and you want to follow me, please subscribe. Please ring the bell so you can get notifications when I release new content. I want to thank you very much for taking valuable time out of your day to listen to me kind of rant and pontificate about my favorite new fragrance, Habdan by Parfums de Marly. Have a great day. This is Joel the Nose from Miami. Have a great one.